The cavity wall insulation is installed to properties built circa about 1950s onwards, which have a cavity as part of their construction, of which we can actually then install cavity fill into. Internal wall insulation and external wall insulation pretty much carried out to solid wall properties pre-1940s and earlier than that, where there is no cavity to fill. And pretty much external wall insulation we do all external to the property, which provides a better external finish to the property, renews the property, whereas internal wall insulation we do it all internally, has much more intricacies in it because we have to move internal radiators, pipe work, etc. like that individually inside the property. A lot of older properties now, mid-terrace properties in town centres or close to town centres, could be covered by planning restrictions or features externally to the property which can differ from that. So therefore we might be more liable to go for internal wall insulation in those scenarios. Where we come out of town centres, like areas we're in at the present, where there's more social housing, it's easier to do external wall insulation, where the aesthetics of the property is that it rejuvenates the area of the properties as well. So the whole area looks more newer, updated. On external wall insulation, we primarily only use a mineral fibre system which cannot catch fire. We tend to stick with that. There are other systems out in the market, but predominantly we stick with a mineral fibre system with a render coating, totally fire resistant. When we go to internal wall insulation, again we use mineral fibre systems and probably improve the quality of the property through maybe future maintenance works that may happen that could include hot works or anything against the properties or fires on the properties as well as. The main improvements will be the energy saving, where they're expected to receive by the insulation which we're putting on the property, both either internally or externally, or the filling of the cavity and potentially filling of loft insulation as well as. They will initially save from energy savings, which means in theory they can keep their temperatures up in the property. Other benefits will be potentially saving on any condensation issues which they may have had, or damp and mould, by trying to reduce it down so it can be treated. We can never say eliminated, but reduce significantly down so it doesn't become a health hazard within the property. Other benefits to the property is aesthetically how it looks, so people feel better about it, both internally or external wall insulation. Their home looks better, they then tend to treat it better and respect the items and how the property then works for them. We work with homeowners and residents to minimise any disruption by trying to upfront gather information for the resident, so when our assessor goes out, he's going out with some information in hand, so he knows what he's approaching the homeowner resident with, the necessary questions and potentially what they're looking for up front. This may vary when he actually goes to the property and carries out an assessment, depending upon what the funding or whatever they might be receiving or what we can actually input into the property as an energy efficient measure. From there, we actually then send around additional people or gather information from the homeowner, any additional needs they may require, specifics of the property and how we're going to go out and actually install this measure to their property. Once that's been done, it's then arranging for the measure to it be installed itself. But again, we try and minimise this by actually working with the homeowners and the residents to actually give them practical timelines that we can work to, and then anything else that may interfere with that timeline, adverse weather for working outside, etc., that could affect the timeline. But constant communication is key with homeowners and residents to make sure we're meeting their requirements and keeping them informed about what we're up to at all times. When we have complex retrofit projects, we have to sit down carefully to actually understand the property itself, what the measures the client or the project requires, and we have to pull together all the necessary information from the qualified persons regarding those materials, how they're going to interact together. So that causes a lot of key planning. When we've done that, is then implementing it by the actual installation of it, and hopefully with the information we've gathered up front, that can go easily and be installed. However, we do know we still come across properties with problems that we will not find out about until we've actually commenced the works. Once we've done that and we do find an issue, we can then hold back, gather additional information before we proceed further. That will then provide a compliant, energy efficient measure installed that will enhance the building, not cause any damage to the building or long-term harm to it. The materials we use are low carbon. Some of them can be recycled, but very few. Most of them are decarbonisation materials initially up front because of the actual makeup of them. but we know that a lot of them cannot be recycled, so therefore they have to be used sparingly and with minimum wastage. We're very crucial on how much waste we create out of this, because we don't want to go to landfill sites or anything like this. Insulation helps towards net zero within the UK through its energy efficiency measures. That it will enhance properties, especially ones of an older design, usually in town centres that are very hard to treat. So the incorporation of insulation measures to include air source heat pumps, PV panels on the roof spaces, energy heating controls will benefit these properties greater. These are the harder ones to treat because of their geographical location, and these are the ones which higher attention needs to be paid with, as well as dealing with the ones on the outer skirt, which are the easy ones to treat at the moment. We've got to be very careful how we assess these properties going forwards as the UK to meet this net zero target. We hold Trustmark, PAS and manufacturers accreditations to install the products and materials that are onto people's properties. These are important because they control the processes and the procedures that we carry out to ensure that the measure or the product we're installing has been done so to a recognised standard. Based upon that, we're able to provide the guarantees and warranties to substantiate that installation and provide the homeowner or resident with the best measure possible with the guarantee provided for it.